NBA Playoffs 2025. Cade Cunningham leads Pistons past Knicks in Game 2 to even series, and losing skid the Detroit Pistons kept it together down the stretch at Madison Square Garden this time. And finally, the franchise's brutal postseason losing streak is over. Pistons, after fumbling late in Game 1 of the opening round playoff series Saturday, held on to grab a tight 100-94 win over the New York Knicks on Monday night. That evened the series at 1-1 before it heads back to Detroit on Thursday. While it wasn't a great shooting night for the Pistons, they shot 6 of 27 from the three-point line. It was Cade Cunningham who made the difference. Cunningham dropped 20 points in the first half and finished with 33. Remarkably, it was the Pistons' first playoff win since 2008. Their 15 straight losses were the longest active losing streak in the league. The Pistons were without big man Isaiah Stewart on Monday night due to right knee inflammation. Team ruled him out with the injury, which also kept him out of their final 2 regular season games just a few hours before tip. Stewart played through his injury in their Game 1 loss on Saturday, though he appeared to be struggling. He had 2 points and 5 rebounds in 19 minutes off the bench. He asked to be pulled from the game in the fourth quarter when the Pistons still held the lead, but then they gave up a 21-0 run and ended up losing. Detroit appeared to put its fourth quarter stumble behind it in the first half. Pistons took a 6-point lead into the locker room behind a huge first half from Cunningham. He hit a short jumper in the final seconds before halftime to keep the Pistons in control. They broke open a double-digit lead early in the second period, but the Knicks fought back slightly. The Pistons immediately pushed their lead in the third quarter, opening the period on a 13-4 run. Half of that came from Cunningham, and they shut the Knicks down almost completely offensively. New York missed 10 of its first 11 field goal attempts in the quarter, and the Knicks were suddenly down by 15 points. That, though, didn't last long. The Knicks finally started making their shots and cut the deficit to just 8 points by the end of the quarter despite managing just 18 points in the period. The Knicks then went on a 16-4 tear in what was a close and contentious finish. Jalen Brunson left the game briefly and went to the locker room with an apparent injury after powering that run, but he came back less than a minute later seemingly fine. 2 teams got into a brief altercation after he left too, though nothing came of it. But, as quick as the comeback was mounted, the Pistons finished the job. They hit a rare three-pointer when Dennis Schroeder connected from 25 feet, and then both Brunson and Mikal Bridges missed multiple attempts from behind the arc in the final minute that could have tied the game again. Detroit hit 3 free throws in the final 10 seconds to push it to the margin of victory and give the Pistons their first postseason win in more than 15 years. Cunningham also had 12 rebounds and 3 assists in the win. Schroeder added 20 points off the bench and accounted for half the team's made three-pointers. Tobias Harris finished with 15 points and 13 rebounds too. Pistons, despite not having Stewart available, still out-rebounded the Knicks 48-34. Brunson led the Knicks with 37 points and 7 assists. He went 4 of 12 from deep. Bridges added 19 points and 5 rebounds, and Karl-Anthony Towns finished with 10 points and 6 rebounds. He didn't score at all in the second half and shot 5 of 11 from the field. The 2 teams will run it back Thursday in Detroit, which hasn't hosted a playoff game since 2019, when the team was swept in the opening round. This is just Detroit's 4th playoff appearance since it made the Eastern Conference Finals 3 straight times from 2006 to 2008. While a home win over the next 2 games would be historic for the franchise, the last one came on May 26, 2008, it would go a long way in keeping Brunson and the Knicks from running away with the series. Returning to Manhattan in a 3-1 hole isn't a battle the Pistons want to face. The league announced the final moving part on Monday after settling several tiebreakers through random drawings. As a result, Golden State will send the number 20 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft to Miami and receives pick number 41 in return and some. The Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler and the number 40 selection from the Heat in exchange for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, Lindy Waters III and pick number 20. Wiggins, Anderson and the 20th pick went to Miami, while Schroeder and Waters landed with the Detroit Pistons. So far, the 5-team deal was worth it. The Warriors were desperate for a spark, and Butler delivered. Golden State has won 24 of 31 total games with Butler in a Warriors uniform and currently has a 1-0 series lead over the Houston Rockets in the 2025 Western Conference first-round playoffs. Many analysts and fans consider the Butler-era Warriors to be contenders for the franchise's fifth NBA championship in 11 seasons. The Heat, meanwhile, survived the NBA play-in tournament but are candidates to be swept by the East's leading Cleveland Cavaliers. Perhaps Dub Nation can find solace regarding Wiggins, a Bay Area fan favorite, as he is averaging a solid 19.0 points on 45.8% shooting in his new Miami Threads.